Hi, this is Autumn Payne. I'm a visual journalist and here speaking again today with Stephen Bryant Walker. He's a therapist at Middle Way Health and he's also a Buddhist teacher. So he combines a lovely perspective of Eastern and Western philosophy on the topics of mental health. So, welcome again today. Thanks for joining us.
I think we also might have another guest with us. I'm not sure um, in the future. Uh,
Yes.
uh, I'm interested in bringing John Stevenson into the conversation, who's a local artist and designer and patron of the arts. So I just want to do that shout out for a future. So if John's listening, like you're on my radar. Okay.
Yeah. So, we'll
Now
bring
go
in some
ahead.
other voices. It's
Yeah, now
really
now go
great.
ahead and ask me the
Yes.
question for today.
Yes. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the topic of physical pain and how it relates to your mental health. So lately I've been having a lot of physical pain from some
Mhm.
dental stuff that's been going on, and it affects your mental health. It can affect your mood, whether you're depressed, it can make you angry, it can put you on edge. I mean, there's so many mental factors that come into play. So I wanted to talk about that mind body connection a little bit and how we can take care of our mental health when we're going through physical difficulties. Big one.
Big one. Yeah. Um, the best way is to train for pain
Oh,
when we really don't have to do it.
mm, okay. How do you do that?
Well, you start by training with small amounts of pain.
Okay. So
Um,
tell me more. What
yeah.
does
So,
that look like?
yeah, usually we just kind of want to dread really deep pain and we stockpile our painkillers and then hope for the best. Um, and of course, we're probably going to do that anyway with, operations and dental work and, disasters. But generally, a lot of the pain that we experience is multiplied um, many times by our anxiety and
Hmm.
our relationship to it. So, generally, even when people are young and they're not doing very much, there's probably some part of their body that's uncomfortable.
Mm. Yeah, true.
Right. So, learning to be aware of it and learn to be present with it without lots of narrative is possible when it's a small amount of pain, it's a small irritation. Okay. So, we're trained to be present with an uncomfortable feeling and not trying to push it away and not trying to cover it up. So, that's really key. That's really the baseline is we're actually just present to our experience.
Mm.
Now, as pain gets more intense, that's tougher, right?
Hmm. Yep.
But then we have to train to what I call supporting the pain um, instead of trying to banish it. Because the
Mm.
tendency is when we can tolerate some uncomfortability and be spacious around it, but when it increases, we want to either banish or isolate it, right?
Uh-huh.
So instead, um, we're going to bring something to it.
Mm.
So this is why we have to bring something like compassion and good feelings and good memories and visualizations and positive resource states to the situation. It's kind of like you'd have a friend who would be sitting there holding your hand.
Mm.
So the other piece we have to cultivate is when we have time, which we should make time to cultivate, positive emotional and mental states that become resource states.
Mm.
Not just feel good states, but states of patience and states of compassion and self compassion and spaciousness, so that when we need to, we can bring it forth. For some people, those positive values, positive emotional mental states are going to take um, form of remembering people and kind of bringing people into our world. It might, bring in God or angels or Buddhas or Bodhisattvas or just positive memories. But those also need to be cultivated, when we're not uncomfortable, and definitely when we're not in super big pain, right? So with
Yeah.
small pain, we can train to just being present with it, and kind of hold it in our awareness without the pain, the uncomfortableness destroying the balance of our mindfulness, the balance of our awareness. But as increases, um, we'd have to really be a very strong mindfulness based person or meditating or a very stable mind to just stay present as things increase. So we want to bring in our lifelines, right? Our friends.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
these are friends we've already cultivated, positive emotional and sensate states that we put next to the painful situation. Once again,
Mm-hmm.
we're not trying to banish it or isolate it, which is a very natural, of course, a very natural reflex, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to go away,
Yeah.
or you start bracing up against
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that tends to be a multiplier, however.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it tends to be a multiplier. If if pain's small, you can kind of banish it, right? You can kind of transcend, or just if this won't go away, we'll do some kind of uh, light disassociation, right? Like,
Yeah. Or take a Tylenol and it
or
goes
take a
away.
Tylenol,
Yeah.
or take your Dilaudid, or whatever you're taking, right? Your Percocet, your Dilaudid, your Xanax, your hydrocodone. But as the pain increases, the more we're able to be present, but also bring in an extra resource and put it next to the pain, then we're going to increase the ability to tolerate it, but also, ironically, feel better. A next step is actually sophisticated, in that we actually bring the pain to more of a point. Uh, Not that we're isolating it, but getting very specific about what the pain is. Because when it's hard, usually when it's intense, usually it becomes globalized. So we're bringing it
Mm.
to a point, and then from that point, in a controlled way, we're letting the whole nervous system, the whole body contain the pain.
Mm.
It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? If you
It does.
people
But I've
like,
tried it. It's worked on small pain for me, actually,
yeah,
this
it does.
instruction.
It's very
Yeah.
weird. Um,
Yeah.
but once again, we have to practice it. We can't
Mm-hmm.
turn the performance into the practice. We have to say, okay, well, that's a weird thing to do. Um, but we can do that. And then you let the whole body and whole mind uh, feel it and absorb it. And then interestingly, then there's a movement back to bring that supportive energy back to the pain point. And that, that gives it the possibility of transforming the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So just to recapitulate, the one style is just to be present with the pain. One's
Mm-hmm.
to bring a friend to it. That's
Mm-hmm.
second. Third one is a transformational method. Okay. A fourth one is an insight method, um, which is used a lot, but uh, can also be tricky, um, because then we go up in our head a lot. But if it's done correctly, it's actually non-conceptual, and that's to notice that the pain is actually not constant; it's impermanent, meaning it's
Yeah.
rhythmic. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it isn't just like this pain's going to go away. If I just kind of wait here, it'll go. It's noticing that the pain itself is not one solid line. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to be a dash line. It's going to be a rhythmic line, and
Mm-hmm.
if possible, you can identify with that rhythm. Uh, it is possible intellectually to say, well, it's not constant. It appears solid, but it's not really solid, and that can leave, right? Um, if you take that out, then in some sense, work with it deeper, then sometimes the pain can almost be dreamlike, right? It's very
Mm-hmm.
strange. It feels like without disassociating. You're present because you've gone through the present piece initially, but it doesn't feel as solid anymore. Okay, it feels
Mm-hmm.
not rhythmic, but also not solid. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was action packed.
Uh huh.
That 10 minutes.
Uh huh.
This
Yeah.
is amazing. Like
Yeah.
this is incredible instruction that I hope people will get to
Yeah.
hear.
Good. Maybe someone will transcribe it. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, I have some pretty bad arthritis in my knees from idiotically playing football in high school, which was a million years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
So I've had to develop a really friendly relationship with pain and a knowledgeable
Mm,
relationship with pain. But I don't pretend to be like someone who's kind of like I know how to do pain and nothing bothers me. I mean,
yeah.
but I know not to bring hatred to it. I know not to bring
Hmm.
more aggression to the pain.
Yeah, the only thing that I can claim any sort of knowledge about is the pain of childbirth. And working with that, I do know that having the support and the right environment
Mm-hmm.
and a positive mind state can make it almost, I don't want to say pleasurable, but make it just a beautiful experience. Even like I didn't really experience it as horrible pain because of all the support. And
Mm-hmm.
I did train before it too, right? Because
Right.
you work with your support people ahead of time, you visualize and all of that stuff. But so I
And
know
there's a
that
positive
part.
outcome too, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's not something done to you against your will. It's something
Right.
that you've signed up for. So
That does
that.
make a big difference. That's a
Mhm.
fifth way of working is, really visualize like there's some purpose to the pain here, and this is
Mhm.
a transformational purpose. It's tricky because that can really become a little bit masochistic, like
Yeah, yeah.
I can endure a lot of pain. I'm a hero. Here's my pain badge.
Yeah.
But if we know there's going to be a positive outcome from any activity, we're more likely to have an open, accepting awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Yeah.
last thing, maybe it's number 6. I'm losing count. Is
I think that is 6,
you're
yes.
getting a lot today because this is
It's
a
6. No,
topic.
this is a big one, everybody.
Um, uh, in our culture, a lot of times we're supposed to be very stoic,
Mhm.
but there are times when it really helps to scream. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And be okay, like some really good moans and some you know
Yeah.
and not try to hold it all in. That there is a value to screaming, and lots of times that's just not cool. They don't like you screaming in the hospital, right?
Unless you're having a baby, in which case it's
they'll
okay.
they'll give you a pass, right? But
Yeah.
generally when people are having extreme pain, they helpers still want you to kind of like, okay, be quiet, you know but there
Mhm.
can be real value to just out and out yelling at times.
Mhm.
Not always, but that's another technique. Anyway,
And
that's bad. Yeah.
speaking of screaming, this is something I've learned as a doula that when
Uh-huh.
you vocalize your pain,
Uh-huh.
if you use a high pitched voice, you're gonna it's a negative pain sensation. But if you use a deep moan,
Mm-hmm.
like, for some reason, that channels it in a different way as far as pain goes, and it lessens the pain. So that's one of the
Yeah.
advice we give to birthing mothers is to bring the pitch of your voice down. I
Right.
don't know why, but it
Well,
works.
we're these hopefully constantly evolving what I call failed chimpanzees, and we're designed to handle a lot of pain. That doesn't mean the pain's going to go away, but we're designed to handle a lot of pain, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh
Alrighty.
man. Well, that was action packed. Thank you so much for that,
Sure.
and I hope I'm excited we got to put that into the world. So thank
Yeah.
you, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Ciao. Bye.
Okay. Bye.